Diagwich, August Falcharov, hello and welcome to Copenhagen Flames taking on North, map number 2. Copenhagen Flames ahead by 1 walking into this, and the pistol round already underway. My name is Mitch, alongside myself is Dean, and alongside the A-bomb side are multiple terrorists already blitzing out towards the site, and actually winning a lot of duels as they do.
Yeah, actually, indeed, getting themselves a one-man advantage. Plenty of room for the bomb plant as well, with how long it's going to take for those rotates to come in from Copenhagen Flames. You can see they will be able to set themselves up with everyone moving towards the spawn. And they do have a couple of HEs, a smoke and a flash, as well as this defuse kit once they want to move forward. The issue is right now, Ramp and Palace control both in favor of the T side, making it that little bit harder. As I say that, though, they do manage to get themselves one kill, spotting one over towards short as well. That smoke going to be going way too deep to cover off from Ramp or Palace, unfortunately, meaning they do now actually need to cover off those two positions. The bomb defuse being stopped, and MSL and Cajun B combined to go ahead and close that one out for Nord. Picking up the opening pistol here on Mirage as they look to try and come back in and find winning ways once again, because they did struggle a little bit towards the end of Inferno. We will see the force spike coming in here, though, from Copenhagen Flames, so let's see if they're going to be able to overcome this one, because at least in the second half of that last one, we've seen it being quite scrappy back and forth from the force spies.
You must forgive me there for throwing you guys to the pause screen. We had a small issue with the X-ray, so I had to bring them in. Yeah, on purpose this time, Dean. I wasn't yesterday. What Dean's referring to is I played ads in the middle of a game. It was great. Fat fingered the wrong button, as happens. But you know, we're on the up and up, getting better slowly but surely at the production aspect of this. North also on the up and up. Just to segue on in towards the game. They've got themselves AKs and 2 SMGs, and if you take a look at what Copenhagen Flames have got, it's not too terrible. The deals, damage potential for sure. Combine that with the scout in play, well, Farlig is a dominant scooter, or indeed opper, majority of the time. He could be getting some tags in, making it a lot easier for the pistols to follow through. AZ already feeling his wrath. They've spotted Hooksy up close. They know he's in the corner. His way out is blocked by bullets, but they keep on finding kills. Although Hooksy's dealt with, that's all. They know where both North players are. Another tag coming through from Farlig just before he falls. But Kirby on 5 HP, and the round now under heavy threat. A flank as well from Refresh. Look at him. Already coming through apartment's door in case of being naded to death.
Have gone south real quicker for Nord. Nadios pops out the door. Gade, did he even get to fire any bullets off at him there? I don't believe so. Nadios comes through with a 4K though. Massive round from him with that deagle. Also being helped out by Farlig, who got a frag himself as well as that damage to help out. So yeah, I mean, Copenhagen Flames come back with the force spy. I was saying that we always have to be cautious of it, but I still wasn't expecting it to really happen. You never are. Even if we look back at Inferno, a lot of the force spies were with stronger weapons from saves and such coming through. So I was thinking, okay, North, this is their map choice. They should be feeling comfortable. They should be able to overcome this one. But no, now they themselves are stuck on around here where all they have available is pistols and Kevlar. In terms of the nades, it's only flashes. They have 6 of them, to be fair, but nothing else to help them out. The one smoke I believe they had already been tossed into play towards top mid, and it doesn't really stop Refresh from pushing forward and already opening things up towards Kirby.
Hooksy wants to get aggressive. Sprays through the smoke but doesn't find a single soul. And North, they're sending the bomb back towards the spawn for now, with 3 players still grouped up in apartments, and definitely does look like there's going to be a hit in here in just a little bit. I'm guessing... I didn't actually take note of MSL's utility, but I'm guessing he threw some sort of a nade over there?
He had a smoke in the beginning, I believe. But I didn't see any nades. No, towards A. No, he threw a smoke towards the top of mid, I believe.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. But they're all going to be barreling through apartments. Hooksy's still here with an SMG in hand. Out they come into the loving arms of the rifles. And I mean, I guess if you want to look for positives, if you're desperate to find something good to say, at least they didn't all die to Hooksy's SMG. He only got 1 kill. So, not that much money. Better to die to the M4s and the AKs. But that's only if you're really looking for something positive. Obviously, losing that round puts them down to an eco, which is the blaring negative.
Yeah, pretty massive one. It's only Glocks as well, but we've had 2 rounds, I think, so far in this tournament we've covered where the Glocks, just Glocks, have been able to win. So you never know. I'm recalling the one on Dust 2, but I remember that there was another one somewhere that I'm not exactly, it's not popping into my mind which game exactly that was in. Oh, Nice kill by Kirby. Okay, double dink instantly on the Firelig in window. Fortunately, Refresh playing that CT spawn, just setting them up for the retake on A, is able to just play a little bit more passively, tap away with that AK and go ahead and quickly stabilize the round and get rid of any sort of danger that they were in after losing that first player towards window. So a good recovery. The M4 was picked back up. They don't really lose too much. The reinvestment will probably come in just straight onto the op, I'd imagine, from Firelig. As North, of course, are going to be getting their buy-in. 2 Galils, 3 AKs. It's not perfect because they did, of course, have to sacrifice down on 2 of their rifles to get the full nades. But it's a strong buy. But they need to get going early on with this one. If they let Copenhagen Flames run off with a massive lead here early, that is going to be difficult for them to try and recover. They're already down by a map. You have to remember, for anyone who was only joined and may not have noticed that the star or the mark up the top is favouring Copenhagen Flames, that is indeed the case. They've won on Inferno. Aggression straight up mid. The balls right now from Copenhagen Flames, taking it straight to their opponents and trading now successfully into the 3-on-3. Nadio's even spotting the head there again, I believe, but sticking around and going down. Firelig at least ready to return, but not expecting Kirby to be ready to pop out of the out onto the A-bomb site, rather. And with that, leaving Refresh alone. But the bomb towards top mid still has to be retrieved. And Cajun B has been spotted as well, so he knows where both of them are. Drops it to the one-on-one, and there it is, Refresh. He manages to clutch it out. That was the issue. They had to take the fight to give themselves the ability to go back up mid and get the bomb. And Refresh has been playing insane.
Oh, 100%. Dealing with the head peak on top of the bench, then over to connector, and then finishing him off. We mentioned coming into this series that Refresh was a player to keep your eye on, most definitely. And right now on 9 kills after the 5th round. Not too bad. Nodios, also a player we were talking about, and how his impact hadn't necessarily in the G2 match been where we would expect it, outside of the second map is where he did really well. And indeed, he is also showing up. And that's a very scary set of conditions. Firelig on the op, you've got Refresh and Nodios both rifling like animals. North are not in for the easiest games of their life, or game of their life, to make this reverse sweep in. Despite it being their map pick, Mirage is definitely one the Copenhagen Flames are capable on, as we're seeing quite clearly.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really thinking Flames would do it here on Mirage. I thought Dust 2 was where they'd have the chance of finishing this series off, but this is a great start, Kirby and Cajun. What the hell has just happened? Kirby picks up 2. Cajun gets one towards short as well. Still being out kind of dueled, of course, with the weaponry that's available for the CTs, but they have a chance here to set themselves up, maybe even get that bomb planted, potentially towards connector to give them the chance to play off of it. Not knowing, though, where the CTs are for the moment. It looks like they have slowed things down, waiting to see if anyone from Flames is maybe going to have a little bit of a peek in, and with that, of course, perhaps give an opportunity for them to even take the advantage. Beginning to back away now. Around true ramp. Are they going to bring it towards Palace to just swing out together so that they can get on towards default a little bit easier? And I believe that is the goal, but they will have to challenge the op most likely.
Firlig's already got 2 under his belt, Dean. Not the kind of opera you want to be hoping that he misses a shot on, but the flick is not good. That's a start. At least he knows both players are here, so Hooksy's on the rotate through, but with 6 seconds left, it looks like they're going to get that bomb planted until Hooksy swings in from short. I didn't even look. I thought he was coming through CT, but a wild aggressive rotate, and although Firelig falls, Kirby can't save the op or the round. It was already gone. Huge kill by Hooksy. And again, that caught me off guard because I thought he was up on B-Apps near the van. I thought he was going to just blitz through CT, maybe come in through Murder Hole. But that would have been a risk, certainly, if the Deagle had made it up close and instead just completely catches the bomb planter off. And now that I think about it, it makes perfect sense, right? On short, he can see the position they were planting in and the plant for connector, and Firelig can see everyone else. So they'd covered every single angle at that point.
Yeah, well played to qualm the threat that was definitely forming in that previous round after it came down to such a close position. But again, good damage at least being done there by North, so they've kept the economy quite modest right now for Copenhagen Flames. If they were to lose a round, they certainly would be in a bit of a troublesome position. So there's a chance for North, if they do pick this up, to start grinding back a few rounds on their T side. Right now, though, they have lost the apartment's control. Hooksy's actually pushed up aggressively. Having a player here, they should realize that that's a possibility. For the moment, though, having mostly focused on the mid control, they won't really be set in stone about where they want to go. but they don't really have the option to bring it back to B unless they're willing to clear out up close on the apartments, or else take the gamble that when they are pushing, they'll be able to deal with that player quickly. Although he has fallen back off. He's not really looking to stick around too aggressively, just shoulder peeking so that he can fall back out through the window once he does spot something. And yeah, seeing Cajun beat. Oh, the push coming in towards A in the meantime. Gade and Kirby, I believe from Palace, able to get one. The short push as well coming in. This one's just falling apart. I mean, the CTs are being challenged everywhere on the map. Only now, I believe, are they 100% sure about what exactly is happening with that bomb being planted over on the B side of the map. But Nodios is trapped in kitchen.
And with that, North get back on the board, Dean. A couple of mistakes from Copenhagen Flames, and all of a sudden their money is gone. They've been losing so many players. You even look back to the one before what we just saw, where, yes, they managed to deny the bomb plan and win the round, but it was a 2 versus 2. And even losing Farlig in the end. All of those losses come back to haunt you a little bit later on. They're learning in all too cruel of a way. So now we move on into round number 8, and we're going to see just USPs from Copenhagen Flames. Not one that we expect to go all too blaringly well for the CT side, but the chances are there if they manage to catch them off in middle, where you can see the bomb was moving down, but slowly starting to move back towards the top of mid, creating distance. This is what you want to do versus these weaker weapons, and eventually completely avoiding pushing down into what would be a very risky position, not only because of where the CTs are at the moment, but if you think about the fact that connector and short can be used to filter in counter-terrorists, they're very opposite angles, and the window peak too. North could have been overwhelmed by pistols from every angle had they have focused on their mid control. And I think the decision they've gone for, it comes with its own risks. There's a possibility Copenhagen Flames are fully stacked up on the A bomb site right now with 4 pistols, in which case North could be running into a pretty hazardous situation, but it also means they can only be on a very minute set of angles, making it much easier to clear systematically, which is exactly what they're going for. Asian B lit up to 23, shouldn't be taking any more fights, and yet they already take down Gade. This is looking quite good for Copenhagen.
Dink on the Kirby, AZ falls. Okay, this is becoming way too costly. There was a chance there, 1-for-1 trade again coming in. It's all on MSL, trading the USB out to, unfortunately, another one that does need to be reloaded. But there's still a hope. He's trying to close in the distance, give himself the best opportunity. He even retrieves an AK. Refresh has the headshot. What a round. Stealing it away. The knife's on the body. Mitch, you know what to do.
What did we... Oh, sorry. Hold on. We gotta... How have they lost to pistols? The USPs, I mean, they did everything right in a way. Pushing out of the A side, like I said, there's risks.
They even had a man advantage.
Even man advantage? No
sorry,
information.
They got a 5-on-3 before losing it, and they had one really low as well. I'm rewatching on stream right now. I'm so sad we don't have the ability to do replays, because that whole segment right there needed a replay. It was crazy.
Cajun B got lit up, had to fall back into sandwich. And from there, I thought, okay, he'll just disengage. The rest of the guys will clean it up. They got a little aggressive, pushing in, and Hooksy got the opening, if I remember, on stairs then. But from that point, Farlik, one after another, just keeps on popping off, grabbing himself a double. The fact that they ended up in that situation, this is the 3rd full eco win that we've seen in this tournament so far on the B stream alone. But that one, I can't even think of the excuses as before. We had the one on Dust 2, also from Copenhagen Flames, if I remember correctly. So they're just nasty when they're investing nothing. But that made sense in a way. There were some excuses, but this time, North walked into it. They had smoked everything. They had got their mollies. All they had to do was plant the bomb, but they played a little bit more aggressively to try and shut down the pistols, but gave them opportunities, one after another, individually peaking. And you just can't do that. Like, realistically, they had already been punished when they lost 2, and then definitely when they lost 3 players. Well, losing the round is not only a punishment economically, but an embarrassment.
And one that gives Copenhagen Flames again the opportunity to start building back up a massive CT side potentially. As we had said, that was a big opening for North. They would have had 3 rounds. They would have had a good opportunity to start even trying to maybe tying up the scoreline soon afterwards if they could have kept up with the gun rounds. Instead, now scraping together their buy here in this one. And And heading over towards the A-bomb site once again, this time against the weapons. Kirby does manage to find the opening, at least on towards Nadios. Molotov under Palace does give way that there's a player there, which allows for Refresh to pop out, but overall North, they are managing to find the frags right now. Only a single trade up to this point for Copenhagen Flames, and it's not going to get any better, so I think North are a little bit angry about the fact that they did lose that previous round. They bounce back immediately, and Farlig is left to try and save, which isn't going to be allowed because he's already being hunted. That's better.
At least they managed to answer back. You know, we can look at positives. I think North will be smiling a little bit. They'll remembering what it feels like to smile. I think it's Copenhagen. Hooksy there has only got 1450 and double eco, but it looks like they're still going to stick towards a full eco. Well, with the exception of the Deagle and Nodios. Why not? Considering the impact they've had with just USPs. I'm curious to see how North deal with this one. Again, we look for mid-control, players pushing up in B, clearing out underpass. In Palace, looking for aggression. They're very spread out, and with the B stack from Copenhagen Flames, the current body language of North and tendencies looks like it will be a commitment in towards the A side afterwards. Their options are very much open, and in fact, as I see Kirby falling back, maybe, just maybe, that's a little. No, the communication is made afterwards. Cation B moves towards T spawn. Kirby goes back into Palace, a position he'd just given up a few seconds ago, and indeed, yeah, it is looking like it's going to be an A hit.
Yeah, I mean, we're not much here for the Copenhagen Flames buys, only having one Deagle actually invested into. I would imagine they will set themselves up to just try and find a couple exits then once the bomb does go down. Perhaps around connector, perhaps put a couple players over towards ramp or something, just see if they can do some damage. Because again, North not really building up much economy. They did keep 4 alive in that previous round, to be fair. So ideally taking a couple of weapons here would be the best position to again keep themselves in a spot where they can try and immediately return with 1 gun round and actually leave North in a spot where their economy would be a bit of an issue for them. MSL? Is he hunting with the op right now? Are you mad?
Looks like it versus an eco. This is not what we want to see. Not the leadership. I know they say lead by example, but you've just lost an op. Why? Why have you done that, MSL?
Did they maybe think it was a force buy? Even then, they
Truly
know
not.
that they don't have an op.
No one was mid. No one was A. They haven't 4-spot and 5-man stack B. Why would you do that with the op? That is just... That's one of the less smart decisions I've seen.
That was weird. I don't know how to... That helps them a lot as well.
Like, why was he hunting with an op?
Like a massive amount.
Even if they have rifles, you don't need to take that risk. You're not by yourself. And at best, they had pistols and armor. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's turn our brains off and look for kills. Evidently was the IGL strategy there. Stat padding, maybe. Who knows? And honestly, if it was stat padding, that was one of the only things that would make sense.
Yeah, other than that, there's no real reason for him to be trying to hunt when he's up against pistols. He has the op and doesn't even have a teammate near him.
Can we just be very clear?
Just seeing the op being given over. Now they have a double op that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
Can we just be very clear? We're not saying stat padding is an acceptable excuse. We're saying that's the only logic or sort of logic that could maybe make sense there. That's madness. Yeah, double op. They're going to run right into the scope as well. But okay, they've dealt with Refresh at least.
That gives them a good chance at least to try and again take themselves this round. Perhaps they can make up for having lost the op in the previous. Another frag coming through from Kirby. The op was initially retrieved there in towards the spawn. It's Queenix who's rocking one of them at this point, trying to see what he can find. Not able to actually connect on the player coming out of Palace and ends up getting dropped as well. Didn't quite catch it from his perspective, but wasn't really able to do anything, unfortunately, leaving Nadios now backing away to save. So 5th round is going to be put on the board for North. But I feel like they're trying to make it a little bit harder for themselves than it has to be. This round, though, again, looking better. I feel like every now and again they just have one round where they do something a little silly and the next round is just perfect, so you can't really say.
Well, true. I guess they can make the mistakes because they're making up for it afterwards. That was just probably the most, at this level of Counter-Strike, the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Or I've ever cast. Oh, no, Leos, you unlucky man. It just, as soon as he sits down to the position as well, he's like, been shift walking the whole round. It's like, okay, I think I might just stand here. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, maybe safer. He's like, I feel at home in this kitchen.
They've cooked me. They absolutely ruined him there. Roasted. But still, nothing's ever going to top that AWP play. But we can forgive them now that they're up on the board at 6-5. The redemption has been earned, unlike Dinko's redemption, which definitely hasn't come through. Still at a 0.7 HLTV rating. He's over on ESL_CSGO C. If you want to go and roast him, tell him he has the lowest HLTV rating of anyone involved in Road to Rio. It is true.
Yeah, technically mine's infinite.
There you go.
But yeah, pistols in this round. This time they have actually 2 deagles as well to help out the USPs, but a little bit of a fake being sold at the moment towards A. And sold indeed it has been. They have pulled everyone over here. I think they were already going for a little bit of a stack. They had one player working around mid there being Hooksy with the deagle, and as he tries to rotate up is when MSL does pop out with the op. Please not again. Please send someone in to help this man out quickly before the op could be retrieved. He gets the kills anyway. This time that's a little bit more fair because it's not like he was just trying to hunt down people saving. He was just in a position as they kind of realized B was open and ran the bomb in, so they figured he could hold the rotation. And from top mid it does make more sense. But I was still worried that he was going to get dropped again and potentially they could have stolen it away.
No, definitely. If he died there and they saved the op, I would not be mad at him. Although it would become a bit of a meme. Like, they're going to eco, MSL should drop him an op. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But
like,
no.
Every time we have to consider what their buy will be like in the next round, we have to say, well, the op as well that MSL is going to give them. Don't forget about that one.
Yeah, they haven't got money to buy an op. But luckily, MSL has one. He'll probably donate it. No, but let's stop roasting
We're
MSL
joking. That was
so harshly.
Kappa at the end of that.
Someone in chat's going to be like, these guys really are biased to MSL. God, biased casters.
I said that last one was fair.
Yeah,
I'm sure he himself would wonder what was going on when he went towards short.
I think
he's probably just in the moment.
He watches back the demo, he's like, what was I doing? What's going through my mind? But yeah, 6-6. Already good recovery by North. They're in a good spot. Let's not sugarcoat anything. Copenhagen Flames are getting wrecked. There's so much money in play for the T side. Molly was good, but the connect... Well, you know what? Just off him. Never mind. I was going to say the connections through the smoke don't come through, but MSL just cut that short real quick. The AWP shot from Palace. Now Gade taken down. Nodios fades back through. Thinking about dropping a smoke in. Oh, MSL's in trouble. The Queenix is fragged. They're now a little bit more free. The Molly going down in towards Connector lands. And actually, AC tries to catch him by surprise. But sadly, Nodios, he just can't be fooled. And the Copenhagen Flames picking up a 7th. And 4 players alive. They've got a little bit of money built up coming into the last 2 rounds. But North, they can't possibly eco. Look at that, 12k on 3 players before they buy here.
Absolutely stacked at the moment. Won't be, as you said, quite fantastic once they do buy up. But North have already got themselves 6 rounds, which is a decent enough T side, rather, that you can be happy with. Ideally, though, I think they want to add a little bit more. We of course, did see actually the start initially going over towards the buys on Copenhagen Flames, having a 5-1 lead, 6-2 then, trading it back. So North have definitely begun to take over control, but I think if they want to be in a position where they're feeling really, really good going into the second half, they just want to try and get that one more. Give themselves a little bit of comfort in case they do lose the pistol. Because at 9-6, if you drop the pistol, then it can begin to look a lot harder within a very short time. Double up setup in play. I do believe that secondary one was retrieved off MSL.
What a surprise.
Malicious that time. Nothing malicious that time with the Warden. I just believe that's actually how they got it, because I don't think they had enough to get it, to buy one up themselves. No. It was while they were moving towards A, if I remember correctly, he was coming in from Palace. But yeah, another buy, as we said, from North. They're able to get everything they want, so they're going to try and come straight back into this one. And right now, Copenhagen Flames, they want to challenge mid heavily. Unfortunately, Nodios goes down. The man towards window ends up taking a bit of damage as well. And with that, is forced to kind of fall back alongside the smoke being down, restricting the vision. Refresh, though, he didn't really have the same mindset in Connector. He stuck around, and that even gave Gade time to come up through underpass and catch him. So now it's a 5-on-3.
Advantages for North. Yeah, like you said, 6 rounds is going to be decent for them, but they definitely want more. Flash going through, pushes Queenix back. Goes through to check lower bottom mid. No one's there. We're all moving in towards that B side. Kirby falls, sadly, not able to get much done. Opt out by Farlick. Going to start to move forward. Low HP on AZ. MSL Gade isn't even too healthy. They're in a lot of trouble as they push in. Luckily, it's an optic facing off against, or maybe unluckily, as Huxi lands his shot, turns around to look for more. He's not landing the shot, instead taking a bit of damage. Queenix is coming through to take MSL out. The bomb plant gonna have to come in, and Huxi takes down Cajun B. They know where the last player is. Good swing by AZ. Already got himself 1 kill. 30 seconds. Coming up on 35 left, but he walks right into Farlick's AWP. Sadly not making the big play he was hoping for. And a 3v5. The North, despite having all those advantages, couldn't close it out. Really well held as well towards that bomb site by Hooksy to find himself those 2 kills. Without him showing up on the AWP there, we definitely would have seen North take the round.
Yeah, we had said though North having some money again are able to buy back in. But, I mean, Copenhagen Flames, if they can pull this back up to 9, that's a pretty good recovery after having lost 4 rounds in a row at one point. I think I think they definitely would be feeling a little bit better than it was really looking to be. Again, trying to challenge around mid. This time realizing that they can't really, because North have already made it out so quickly. They've smoked off their player around window, so that Fireleague really couldn't do anything to help them out if they were to challenge. So just going to have to go ahead and concede it. What you normally want to see then is aggression coming in somewhere else so that they can get info, so maybe they can find an advantage with a kill, even knowing that there is a few players around mid, that at most on the extremities of the map there will be maybe 1 or 2 players. And indeed, they've pushed in towards ramp. They're not going to find anyone here, which could be a bad thing, because right now there is a player in Palace, so it could still be an A split coming in. If they don't realize this from ramp, it could kind of influence them a little bit to rotate and maybe stack up B. And indeed, beginning to actually flank 1 player around through spawn. The question is, how quick is this flank going to come in? Will it be able to get anything done before North make the decision about where they want to go? And it may just be able to, because it's likely going to catch Cajun coming back through the apartments. Yeah, indeed, not having any idea, had his knife out and goes down. Nadio's going to be able to pick up a double over towards middle as well. And suddenly it's all on Kirby.
Yeah, the 1v4 not looking too likely. Bond down a connector as well. Where does he go from here, Dean? They're about to come swinging up to the ramp, and it's not even the ramp that's necessary. Fireleague takes him down and closes that one out. But for now, we've got to close this out. It is time for the halftime break. Folks, we'll be back really soon with half number 2, so don't go anywhere.
Until the sun comes up.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixes cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the light, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the holding on for life, feeding the high, chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or to losing sleep just to get a few. Day to day, you wanna stay out. You're chasing the light, holding on for life, feeling alive, chasing the light, chasing the light.
Dia Gwitch Macardagas Falcherod. The second half about to go live between North and Copenhagen Flames. The B site being overrun at the moment. Look who's pushing up. It's AZ popping in to say hello. He takes a headshot and then, well, takes a headshot himself. Gets taken out in a 3 versus 4 emerges. Copenhagen Flames with the advantage to play with for now. But out on the site, Refresh is in a bit of danger. Asian B closes in the distance and oh, that was a clean little one tap. Quite refreshing to see if you can go. Oh my god, okay. You cut that joke short.
Kirby left all alone now in a 1-on-4. Not liking his chances, but he has continued with the trend so far of this round being the one taps. Able to take down Naughtios and with that give himself a chance to rotate in. Not going to expect this flank from jungle though, unfortunately. Refresh, an easy shot to the back of the head. 3 for him. And just all around, a crazy round right there. Everyone was connecting instant headshots pretty much as soon as contact was found. We didn't see any mad spams like we do in some games. I think we, when we had the Fnatic versus Heretics game, I remember there was some crazy rounds where teams had prolonged fights. And it was interesting. But yeah, 10-6 Copenhagen Flames. They come out firing here by picking up that second pistol round. North now are working heavily to try and get themselves back into this, just to stay alive in the series. Again, they are already down by 1 map.
Needing to make the recovery 4 rounds apart. This force buy is important for the CT side to see if they can clock it up. They don't want to allow Copenhagen Flames to run away with a 12-6 scoreline, but sadly, if they lose this, that's probably what's going to happen, unless they too are specialists of the eco rounds. As we've seen from Copenhagen
Seems like
Flames.
everyone is nowadays.
Well, I mean, 2 out of 3 of what we've seen on stream have been Copenhagen Flames. They're winning with clocks, they're winning with USPs, they don't give a damn. Versus G2, now versus North. I've never seen, Dean, we've cast a lot of them online. Never seen them do this against tier 3 teams. They don't full eco win those, but somehow against some of the best, they're like, yeah.
Or maybe it's just not as notable against the teams you don't expect. You really... you don't expect as much from. I didn't know how to phrase that exactly. But when you're against North, you think, okay, against Copenhagen Flames, these guys should be playing out their anti-ecos and such fairly well. You would expect it from a team on their level, but yeah, they've been struggling a little bit.
Maybe that's even a negative factor, right? I mean, if they're playing against a team that they think they're so much better than, you might play a little looser.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that before, when you don't have to pressure, really, sometimes in the games where you're up against the teams that you're not really expected to do as well against. So in the case of North, they definitely would be coming in as the favorites. Right now with their force buy, unfortunately not shown that they have the specialist ability that Copenhagen Flames had on their one. They do even have a bit more weaponry to work with. The Scout and 2 Deagles still remain, and there was a chance for Kirby to line them up, but that's a difficult angle with a Deagle, to be fair. And Naughtios just comes in and gets 2 for himself. He is looking really impressive. You mentioned back on Inferno that since Queenix had come in, he hasn't really been stepping up as much. You weren't sure if maybe that was just a few days of poor performance, if maybe it was just the roles being swapped up a little bit perhaps, and he was taking his time to settle in. Well, he's feeling much better right now. 18-11, and when you have Refresh 18-8 as well, that's exactly what you need to be getting this victory. And damn, are they starting to get a little bit closer to it. 11-6, and up against a full eco, we'd likely see 12-6.
And Farlig's not even having a great game either. I mean, when you're counting out Farlig and still seeing such good results, that is a damn scary prospect. North pushed up top mid. They're already towards the T-spawn. Hooksy heard the steps, though. He knows they're here. And as we dubbed him the other day, the Hooksy Meister, he's being cautious. Hooked in the corner, but that's a potential up for grabs. I've heard him as well. Fresh, the player right up behind the plant pot. Deal with USP, good damage, 22 health left on him. I don't think he gets out of here alive. Throwing away his utility to keep them back, but on the site, the USPs are lurking. They're waiting for an opportunity. And he only gets the 1 kill. Now the moneymaker's in play for the CT side, but no bomb side. Oh, well, Cajun B might catch him off, and the flank as well coming through. This is dangerous. This round could actually fall apart completely. Easy. He's going to spot out 2. And he misses the shots. No. There goes North's chances of taking this round. Fading through the smoke. Kierby. His vision fades as the bullet hits him clean in the head alongside Cation B to close that out. 4 players left alive for Copenhagen Flames. That could have been so much better for North.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row where you see Copenhagen Flames actually living with 4 players. You can see that helps their economy quite a bit here. They have a bit of a buffer even if they are to lose this opening gun round. We do see the Mac 10 being retained by Queenix though. And obviously with Farlek having upgraded, he would struggle a little bit in the next round to buy. He'd probably have to get a drop from that. But overall, this is being taken as a kind of bonus round here from them. And considering they're rushing it straight towards B, that Galil and the Mac 10 can still be extremely effective. Utility-wise, there is a decent amount in play, including a lot of Molotovs, though, for that CT side. So that's something they need to be cautious of. And already that nade coming in actually does a bit of damage to help out. The smoke in play, giving some room, though, for the Mac 10 to close in the distance. Straight out the window. The flash was perfect to blind up Gade, but he has help from short. AZ was ready to cover him.
Oh, nice fade through by Nodios, but Refresh falls to the molly. And now with bench control and apps, they've got a lot of work to do. AZ is coming up below them. That position is unchecked as of yet, and Farlek falls down and indeed falls right afterwards. Nodios to do it all. The 1v4, he's lighting them up, but sadly not taking them down. Leaving North to pick up a 7th and now 5 between them. Copenhagen Flames have got money to get a buyout. There's no question about that, and you would expect nothing less considering the rounds they've been winning and how many players have been left alive across the way. However, North, surviving with 4, they've got a decent amount of cash built up themselves. That little bit of a buffer that could follow through just after this. Whichever team wins this more or less puts the other down to an eco, although North will have the opportunity to force, so it's not a surefire thing. Definitely important for North to pick up a 9. That early tag as well onto Refresh has gotta hurt. But he sticks around. He's still contesting top mid, which is surprising.
Especially considering he's one of the top fraggers, it's a good bit of a good man to damage down early on. But as you said, still sticking around. That's an interesting choice. Farlek is also being tagged down now in the meantime elsewhere, so damage early on definitely going to be favouring the side of North. They also have Gade pushed up aggressive in the apartment to allow for them to have a bit of a gamble more so towards that A bomb site itself. And we do end up seeing even a kill coming through. Queenix just about finds that as he spams back. That's a kill they crucially needed, but even with that, they're still heavily on the back foot. Normally a 4-on-4, you're like, yeah, favours the D side, but they're just so damaged at this point. And now Refresh as well has actually been finished off eventually. Looking to just regroup, I believe, here, see if they can bring it in towards A. I mean, Nodios, he's been playing extremely well. Hooksy on the op as well could certainly have some impact. I think Queenix is more so going to be relegated to trying to hold with them on the after plant if they can have the success, sticking more so to the back of the pact. And here, yeah, the op creeping out. The smoke going down. I was going to say the timing could be a bit awkward because Hooksy was creeping forward of it, but it's actually Nodios who catches him instead from Pat. And the flash is perfect to actually knock MSL back off that angle he was holding.
Yeah, but again, that flank on its way. Kierby, not with the USP this time, could be doing so much more damage than what AZ was able to muster at eco. They clear out ramp, but they haven't checked Palace. Luckily, though, all the players are moving into ramp, so Kierby's not actually going to... Oh, maybe he will. He might do a little bit of damage onto Hooksy. They saw his head. He hasn't realized... Oh, he sees him now! But just in time, they both spot each other. Down under wood. Hooksy! Oh, that cross back was so dangerous. They've got the flank coming around through mid, but they've got to hold down first. Great shot by Queenix. The smoke in play, though. They've got to go for the spam. Hooksy finds the kill and straight away transfers to MSL. Inside the smoke, diffusing and quite close to getting it. 13-7 we go. North calling a timeout. Their second used up so far. 13-7. Now is definitely the time. We mentioned where the economy was at, and as you can see, it's not giving a clear-cut buy for North, and already with a Deagle bought up for MSL, I think that's indicating that we are just going to see pistol and armor plays. Although a rifle for Kierby. Where is this one going?
Maybe just the one hero rifle.
On the
I mean, they get
CT side.
2,900 next round, so... Well, they get 2,900, so Kierby will still have 5,000 even if he doesn't get a kill. considering he's just going to be going for a rifle anyway. If he has an M4A1S on, even then that's a little bit cheaper. So I don't think it'll really cost them. It gives them a chance here to try and get a few kills. I mean, that previous round, only 2 players surviving for Copenhagen Flames, so if they can even take out 2 in this, leave 3 surviving, then they'll still be keeping the economy of Copenhagen Flames in a spot where 1 round could potentially break it, which is something they need when they're about to be likely down 14-7.
Yeah, I guess if they make an actual play with the rifle, I'm surprised that they're, again, spreading it into defaults. And Deagle's looking to do some damage. Kierby's got to be the player that makes it all happen. That M4 in play, he's the one we look to do the damage. 3 players towards A, 2 on B. They've completely conceded mid, but I mean, what else do you expect considering they've only got the pistols? Nodios quickly bails away after spotting Deagles. You want to get into a head peak battle with those. Not the most favorable, really. With 1 minute 10 on the clock, Copenhagen have got a lot of time to play with. I expect some aggression to come through from north. Try and make something happen in mid. You just saw Kierby swing through with the M4 and find nothing. That's a big problem. I'm surprised as well that North don't go in for a heavier play on utilities to support Kierby if he wants to go for mid-peak, pop a flash through. Good damage done by AC. The man's only got a P250, and he's holding down B all by himself, tucked up in the corner. They didn't see him, and although Farlig deals with him, there's 2 players already on the rotate now. They know the bomb's down on site, and out they come with their pistols in hand. This isn't going to be easy for Copenhagen Flames. They've still got a player top mid who's 28 HP as well. 1 hit to the Deagles. Occasion B overextends a little bit. And in the end, they lose. I don't feel like that was necessary. They knew the bomb was down. And swinging into those angles that they knew were being held by Copenhagen Flames, especially with an op in play, a little over-aggressive.
They've called a pause. I don't mind it. That round was a little bit closer than they would have liked, and they know that they were up against an eco on that one. But being up 14-7 and calling a pause, it's not something you see too often. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I've seen some people call BM, but I think that's more so when it's 2 teams are on the same level and one team is absolutely dominating and they call a pause. In this case, with Copenhagen Flames being the underdogs, I think a pause to calm themselves down and ensure that they can close this out is a good idea. Because that tends to be something that can separate those top teams, is being able to actually close the games.
Well, exactly. You don't want to allow that team that's at a higher level to have a chance to come back. You want to make sure if you're losing 3 players, 2 players, Hooksy was almost dead as well, to Deagles. I mean, Kierby did nothing with the rifle, so it was just Deagles. And even at that, it was a P250 on the site. You want to make sure you're not allowing for those mistakes to come through. Facing into your opponent's final full buy. Started out with a swing onto MSL's op. I know it's playing up behind triple now, but that has come at a pretty hefty cost. Still looking to move forward. Bomb dropped on ramp. They've got a player top mid and in apps. This is a very aggressive spot, and Nodios picks up a kill. No utility out. I mean, I'm not a fan of that play. That op could have easily have been holding him at that point from CT and just taking the kill for free.
I don't know, this is an interesting situation. An opportunity definitely being found back, at least for Copenhagen Flames now in the 4-on-4. But there's still 2 players around this A bomb site. They have to deal with. Cation was spotted though, the shoulder. The kill also coming in towards the steps. Farlig doesn't care, jumps across and takes himself another on the Kierby. Suddenly Gade's left alone. It's about to be map and serious point for Copenhagen Flames. This game has been shocking, if I'm being honest. Again, we said between 2 Danish teams with the map pool that was in place, we did think there was a chance for Copenhagen Flames. But I was pretty set in stone that if they were to take this series, it'd have to be the 2-1. I didn't think they'd be able to do this here on Mirage, but they're making this look easy.
I feel really bad. Like, my heart goes out to Cajun B in that position. He made the perfect read to go up on top of Palace. There is no world in which the player Nodios coming out of there would have expected him. Because he'd just been there. He just swung out, taking an MSL. No reaction. So why would he? He'd mollied under wood, no tags, nothing. But the expectation of Farlig as he went to Tetris, he hadn't experienced those things going through. So he thinks, oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well clear at the angle, and sees the gun barrel sticking on through, ending what could have been a huge and possibly round-winning play, putting it onto map and series point for Copenhagen Flames. 1 of the next 8 rounds needs to be won by them. That is, well, expected at this point, really. A much weaker buy for North comes through. We see FAMAS for the most part entering combat, but Kierby, he's working it perfectly down in underpass. finding himself a potential AK upgrade, which he's already received. Cajun B on a slightly wider angle this time. Not going to be cut off by anyone pushing out of ramp as it's currently being held. Nodios gets tagged and Cajun just falls back. Doesn't want to overcommit towards it, but MSL again taken down from Palace.
Yeah, it's a risky one because he doesn't want to stick around and get dropped, but once he drops down, then MSL's left in an awkward spot on triple. You see Cajun trying to take the ramp control instead so that MSL could shift his attention, but the timing was perfect for the creep out. And yeah, 4-on-2 now. This is just falling apart. North had a good start into this round with a kill and damage being done, and now it's all on Cajun B. Gade tries to get something back on mid, peeks into the op, and yeah, I mean, at this point, as long as they move together, then they should be having an easy time. And they have one player moving in towards B right now as well. That is going to confirm that this side of the map is clear for them. The bomb will be brought over. And even if this kill is gotten on refresh, he still has an almost insurmountable task. And no, it's not going to be allowed. There it is, 16